Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora and also what's going on in Africa. If you're new to if this is your first time, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe button on my YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. We recommend we encourage our listeners worldwide to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topics in the comment section below this audio podcast. Help make our audio podcasts and our video podcasts go viral by sharing my YouTube page with all of your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is based on public available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This audio podcast is available in two forms: audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners to please subscribe to my Medium page as well. On there, you can find all of my presentations, and you can follow along during the podcast. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. I use my platform to share with people on my social pages. I encourage Black artists, African artists, such as authors, poets, musicians, and Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, to make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that way you can promote your business, your music. And if you have a small ministry, then you can share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and Wix website. So that way they can launch their online business or online ministry to the global community. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this point in time, this is where I'm at. It doesn't matter how bad I want to get my Christian business up and running in Chicago. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God-given assignment, which is to create the best African American business or Black business within the United States of America. And that would be the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. But I can't do this alone. This is why I'm encouraging my listeners to become GRCAM members. How do you become a GRCAM member? Purchase my revised book, especially my ebook. It's available for $9.99. I have my author Amazon page in the comment section below this audio podcast. I'm also reaching out to African immigrants who live within the United States from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I understand that you came to America to live your American dreams. That's fine and dandy. I need your help. For 34 years, I've been reaching out to Black Chicagoans to work with me to help turn my vision and plan to help improve the Black community or the African American community. 34 years. Uh, and I'm still on first base. That's unacceptable. Very unacceptable. And I'm just trying to keep it real, 100 and everything. The reason why you are here in America in the first place is because of my ancestors. All right. They fought and died during the civil rights era to allow African immigrants, Afro Caribbeans, and other non white immigrant groups to come to this country. I'm not reaching out to those other groups. I'm really reaching out to African immigrants. All I want you to do for me is, would you please purchase my ebook and read my story? If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, specifically Black Chicago, you will automatically become a GERCAM member. Work with me directly in terms of helping me get my revised book on that bestsellers list, as well as get behind my film project. That's what it's going to take. It's going to have to take a film because a lot of our people don't like to read. It is what it is. That's why it's been 34 years. I'm still on the first base. Uh, and I've been doing this work, in real life too, trying to recruit people. But again, God give us free will. But I am determined to do something positive and productive, trying to build something for my racial group, Black Americans, who identify as descendants of American slaves / freedmen. But I got to find Black Americans out beyond Chicago because, it is what it is. That slave mentality is nothing to play with. It's been affecting our racial group or my racial group for the past 400 years. But I'm have something to help break that mess. I have the solution to help break it. And not only with Black America, but also with African immigrants as well. You all got to heal from that colonized mindset. Black Americans have to heal from that Willie Lynch mentality, which is the slave mentality. That's bottom line. And in my business, we both groups are going to heal from that. Both groups are going to learn how to work together, respect each other's culture. Because I'm not into all that diaspora wars. That's how come I don't, I don't use the term foundational Black American, but foundational Black Americans is also a part of my lineage. But again, over here, I identify myself as a descendant of American slaves / freedmen, and those Black Americans that identify as well are welcome to be a part of this because, after all, this business is for them. We want to get it popping here in America, specifically in Chicago, and then we want to replicate the business in those 10 African nations if African immigrants from those nations would stand up and work with me. That's going to help speed up the process. And I am going to turn the business over once we get it popping here in Chicago because I don't want to spend the rest of my life, bogged down with Black issues. I want to help get the business popping over there as well on the African continent so we can replicate the business to those other African nations so we can do international trade with each other because things is going to get worse here in America. And, it is what it is. I just want to get it popping here in Chicago because that's what my creator placed in my heart to do. And that's for credibility. That's all I'm saying. It's for credibility. Some people I keep running across, well, not some, seem like a majority of people I run across, they keep thinking that this is a scam. But I want people to read my story first. I'm selling ideas. The book of Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain, you know? And it also says in God's word that my people perish for lack of knowledge. And here I'm sharing my plans, how we're going to be able to help improve our community, help strengthen our the black family, how African immigrants here can play a role in this as well. Because again, I want to bring this to the African continent to create jobs for African youth. Over here, create jobs for Black youth and African youth. Keep them out the streets. Keep them out of gangs. That's the solution. But we have to build this together. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. No one is going to build that for us. We have to build that for ourselves. And that's how CongreCam will be a membership base. I'll work with you and your immediate family members for life as long as you're an active member. Right now, I'm just trying to get this thing started here in Chicago. Lord knows I don't want to be doing this another 34 years. This business is also for Black millennials, Generation Z. Building this for you all, especially single Black mothers and single Black fathers. Help you with resources that you need. Help and try to make a positive impact in the low-income Black community or Black neighborhoods, because our communities is just, it's not real communities like it used to be before the civil rights movement came about, because all that integration just really hurt us even more, and it only benefited white businesses. It really didn't benefit Black America like it was supposed to. Nevertheless, that's what I'm all about on here. Again, my film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive and build something positive for my racial group, Black Americans who identify as descendants of American slaves / freedmen. I'm just trying to keep it real on that. Again, I don't want the brand and the vision to die in America. I want to push the vision to the Black world. And this is my contribution to Africa's rising. So, I'm looking for, well, hold on, let me go back for a moment. I want something else I wanted to say. So I'm calling upon Black content creators and African content creators who have a large following. Please allow me to come on your platform so I can speak to your audience about my revised book and about my film project. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, that's going to put me in a better position financially, so that way I can hire Black people. I can hire African people and others. If I'm not making any money, then I can't hire anyone. It's just that simple. Also, if you don't support your advocates, you won't have any advocates. Is what it is, you know. Um, so with that being said, um, in this business, once we get the film project fully funded and made, and like I say, that's going to put me in a better position financially. So that way I can purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants. I want um, those that's going to be on my advisory board or resource team to have an associate's degree or above. And I would like for those persons to be Black attorneys, African attorneys, and investors. Excuse me. Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. I want to make sure that our business will be effective and successful for years to come. I'm called by my Lord and Savior Jesus slash Joshua to rebuild Black Chicago, similar to that of Nehemiah, who was called by God to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Nehemiah used qualified engineers, architects, and inventors to rebuild a new city. In contrast, I am seeking Black middle class professionals that would help me build this business and for us to make our presence known um, in the low income Black community or uh, low income African American community. Starting on the west side of Chicago, we will cover Austin, Garfield Park, and North Lawndale, and eventually expand to the south side, make our presence known there in the African American community or the Black community. Now, again, you know, I can't make anybody purchase my revised book, buy items from my virtual store, or donate to the film project. That's a personal choice. And again, that's Willie Lynch in real time, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyway, our upcoming events Saturday, February 21st, we have guest speaker, so, guest speaker, Psalmist Maggie Desuha. Sorry, tongue twisted, but doing the best that I can. She's from Kenya. Friday, February 27th, we have guest speaker First Lady Faith from Kenya. Please mark your calendar for our monthly virtual interactive conference on Saturday, February 28th, 2026. Um, so I am looking for 5 people from my Facebook page or from my Facebook social groups to be on the panel. So that way we can discuss a topic. And that topic is Wake Up. Well, that's the Wake Up Africa series. President Ruto gift to Macron was pure betrayal to Africa. Classic case of exploitation and neo-colonialism. And that's what we're going to talk about. Got to look at the, first of all, you're going to have to know how to use YouTube. So, those of you, sorry, you're going to have to know how to use Zoom. So, if you don't know how to use Zoom, then, let me know and I'll, I will teach you. So that way you can come on here. and we'll talk about it, and then we'll open it up for Q&A for everybody that's on my social groups and everyone that's on my friends list from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, X. So the whole 9 yards. I'm trying to get all of y'all on here. And if you're camera shy, you can use an icon. But bottom line, trying to get everyone to interact with each other and for us to work together, work with me to get my book on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world can take us serious and so I can move this thing from behind the computer. That's all I'm saying. So that's what's going to happen. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to break some of this stuff down so that way. So anyway, I'm available Thursday, February 19th, Friday, February 20th, Sunday, February 22nd through Tuesday, February 24th, Thursday, February 26th, and the time will be from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. American Central Time. Please select which day is best for you so that way make arrangements with me so that way I can teach you how to use Zoom so that way you can come on this on my platform and for us to discuss the topic. Also, again, just want to reiterate this, if you're a business owner or if you're an artist, such as an author, poet, musician, make arrangements with me. Because those days that I just mentioned, those are the days I will be available for you to come on this platform and promote your books, your business, or your music. Or if you have a small ministry, you can also share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. This year, we are determined to get this film project fully funded and made. So that way we can get our story on the big screen in order to reach the Black world and let them know what we're trying to do for Black Americans who are trapped in American ghettos, specifically in Black Chicago. So, our virtual interactive conference is going to be available on YouTube Live. When Saturday, February 28th, the time 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Title of this presentation: Why do a majority of Black Americans support Trump's SAVE Act? And the legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson. Our first topic: why do a majority of Black Americans support Trump's SAVE Act? I ran across a video on Facebook about Congressional Black Caucus Representative Yvette Clarke. She rejects voter ID and the poll, which says, that poll is from CNN, which says 76% of Black voters approve the SAVE Act. This politician is not from our lineage. She is from the Caribbean. A reporter was speaking to her about voter ID and the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is basically where they're going to require you to have an ID to vote. That's going to clamp down on a lot of illegal immigrants from voting. A lot of these black Democrats are protesting against the SAVE Act. This report has receipts like the CNN poll, which said 76% of black people were for the SAVE Act. This is the problem with the Congressional Black Caucus. If 76% of black Americans support the SAVE Act, then your job as a representative is to say, quote, I'm voting for it because the community wants it. That was a representative. That's what a representative is supposed to do. She wants to go against what black American voters want. She used racism as an excuse. I'm sick and tired of Democrats using racism on everything. On this platform, I encourage black Americans to register to vote. So that way, instead of complaining about these politicians, vote them out of office. Don't keep voting for those people. Or if you don't vote, do a protest vote. Vote against their. I would say vote for the opposite party. But bottom line, that's how you punish them politically. I believe we need to start punishing these black political politicians by getting them out of office um, during the primaries. Otherwise, this is why we don't get anything done in the black community. Our biggest problems is black politicians. And as I mentioned in my revised book, we have to get our representatives from the black grassroots. We can't get reparations if our representatives don't represent us and are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites and sold out to the Democrat Party. Immigration is not our issue. We are not immigrants. If we had a united congressional black caucus from the black grassroots, then we can see a positive impact in our community. This is what I want to showcase in my film, ladies and gentlemen. The black world will pay attention. Trust me. These black politicians are sold out to the Democrat Party. They only talk about reparations when the higher ups tell them to. Like a study on HR 40. That's my biggest issue with the Congressional Black Caucus. The majority of black people want the SAVE Act. We're tired of being treated like we're incapable adults. The Democrats' narrative is that voter ID hurts black Americans. That's a stereotype. We've been in America for 400 years. We're the most documented people. We keep our IDs and paperwork. We need ID for school, college, work, banks, travel, housing, government services, etc. You can't function in a modern society without a proper ID. Dash FM, descendants of American slaves / freedmen, want to protect the legitimacy of our voting rights, and we want to make sure that our political voice isn't weakened by fraud. We understand that unchecked voting causes voter fraud. If a polling place doesn't verify citizenship or identity, that opens the door for non-citizens to come in and influence our elections. And that's not cool. And that's not cool at all. The billionaire class or the white supremacist financial elites are trying to use these illegal immigrants to be their new voting bloc. The Democrats assume that black Americans would automatically oppose voter ID. Black Americans are becoming more politically independent. We're not letting them scare us. These other groups are seeing in real time how delineation is exposing a lot of things. They see we are not out in the streets marching and protesting. ICE. They see these these poll coming out about the SAVE Act. That's all based on lineage. That's all based on delineation, ladies and gentlemen. You see these career politicians not getting elected. Hello, Kamala. That's based on delineation from the black grassroots. Delineation clarifies who policies are supposed to protect. Lineage awareness. When we talk about ancestral continuity, we're talking about bloodlines going back centuries. DAS FM, Descendants of American Slaves slash Freedmen, can now focus on our lineage based policies and lineage based protections. These first generation black immigrants, such as from Haiti, Jamaica, Barbados, they come over here and they don't have us in mind. We're not going to allow the erasure of our culture and our lineage to be hijacked by anyone because we've been here too long. We're intertwined into the fabric of this country. We are going to be treated as a unique, exceptional ethnic group because that's what we are. The SAVE Act is appealing because it reinforces the idea that our votes belongs to American citizens with historical facts, not just anyone who crossed the borders without putting in the work or coming over the right way. If you check out all of the videos on my Medium transcript, you will see a lot of groups from African immigrants, Afro Caribbeans, Asians, Latinos, and even white Americans are begging Black Americans to come out and protest with them. Over here, we say illegal immigration goes against our interests and we decline. I rock with African immigrants who rock with me. I'm still encouraging like minded Black Americans beyond Chicago, African immigrants across the United States, and the global African family to please check out my ebook on Amazon for $9.99 and read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, you will automatically become a GRCAM member. Help me get my book on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world can take us serious. Get behind our film project so that we can get our story on the big screen and make our presence known in the African American community or low income African or low income Black community, starting on the west side of Chicago and eventually on the south side of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, once the Democrats retake the White House, then they will reopen those borders and dump illegal immigrants right back into the Black community or Black neighborhoods in order for them to compete against us for resources. Within one generation, they will dominate the Black community, and our children will end up paying the price for not being prepared for the downfall of Black America due to this unchecked slave um, mentality imposed on our ancestors by the white supremacist financial elites. These other groups are on code and not standing up to the former colonizers. They want to fight. They want us to fight their battles. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comments section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, the legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson. On Tuesday, February 17th, I heard that Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away. We send our condolences to the Jackson family. I remember Reverend Jesse Jackson when I was a child. He was out there stomping hard for Black America. He stood up for everybody. He fought for Black people to have jobs and businesses. He fought for criminal justice reform. Reverend Jackson fought against the apartheid government in South Africa. He was working with Dr. King Jr. He was from Greenville, South Carolina. One of his famous speeches was saying, quote, "I am somebody." What Reverend Jackson understood about Black America living in a racist society, many Blacks as a collective have low self esteem. We buy all these name brand items just to impress others, trying to keep up with the Joneses. If you don't think you're nobody, that's where the problem begins. And if you don't think you're nobody as a man, black man, or as a black woman, then you won't value the life of another black person because you don't think of yourself as anyone. So you're not going to value the life of another black person. That's why these urban terrorists can shoot up the block without a care in the world who they're harmed. This sounds so cliche, but words are powerful. This is right after the civil rights era. We made some big wins during that time. He created Operation Push and later formed the Rainbow Push Coalition on the south side of Chicago. What he trying to do at that time period was to create a minority coalition. Reverend Jackson wanted Asians, Arabs, East Indians, Latinos, and even poor whites to join this minority coalition and work with everybody. For example, I found an article from the New York Times entitled Jesse Jackson Crossed into Mexico to Denounce an Immigration Bill. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comments section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. According to the article, Reverend Jackson did not favor opening the American borders to Mexico without controlling immigration. In other words, he didn't believe in unchecked immigration. He did not favor brutal treatment of undocumented workers. In 1984, they were trying to pass a bill to do the exact same thing that Europeans were doing in South Africa, making black South Africans carry their identification papers everywhere they go. Reverend Jackson stood up for the Latino community. He wanted a black and brown coalition. Now we fast forward to today. Reverend Jackson, all of his life, fought to have a minority coalition for decades. He tried his best to bring people of all racial groups together. And what did they all do? You did not join with him. It was a good idea of having Asians, Arabs, Latinos in a coalition and working together to run the city and the state after decades of rejecting a minority coalition. Now, since Black Americans have decided as a collective to delineate ourselves from all these other groups, now all of a sudden, these other groups are calling for a minority coalition with us. They are making videos saying we need to join together, black and brown, black and yellow, black and white. Don't believe me? Just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. African immigrants are saying we are being divisive, and xenophobic. But why aren't you talking about for decades? Reverend Jackson been trying to get you to join with us. You all rejected us. This is why Black Americans are saying we are good. We're not the civil rights generation. We're not going to be a doormat for anyone. I found a video about an African immigrant from Sierra Leone making terrorist threats against FBA, who is also part of our lineage, To watch the video, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comments section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. I might not agree with their tactics of sitting up, arguing back and forth, causing the diaspora wars. But again, FBAs are the same lineage as DAS, descendants of American slaves / freedmen. She was out of line calling to unalive FBA for what? We are minding our own black business. It was our grandparents who fought and died so that African immigrants, Afro-Caribbeans, and other non-white immigrants to have an opportunity to come to this country, but many of them are coming over here talking trash and down against us and our lineage, and we're not having that. So we're going to check anyone that's going to speak against our lineage and our ancestors. That's not cool. Even in God's word, Mark chapter 6, verse 10 through 11. Please read that. I'm going to just paraphrase it. So it was just saying, like, the Lord was telling, or I believe, Jesus was telling his disciples that, go to different people's homes. And if they won't receive you, just brush your shoes off and just, go somewhere else. And, that's how it is. You don't sit up here and keep somebody don't want to hear what you have to say and just leave them alone. Go to the next person that will listen. Same thing with me. I don't want to be doing this another 34 years. But I want to get it popping here in Chicago for credibility. That's all. And I'm trying to be obedient. That's what my creator placed in my heart to do. Get it started in Chicago. Then I can expand it in other places. So I want to expand it to the African continent. Get it popping there. So that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters, especially GRCAM members. That's what this is all about. I'm here to serve GRCAM members. Those that's not a part of us, we'll pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. I found another article from the New York Times entitled, "In Africa, Jesse Jackson was esteemed for his fight against apartheid." To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript. Click located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. According to the article, he rebuked South Africa's apartheid government. He called on Howard University to divest from the country, and he even visited Nelson Mandela when he was released from Robben Island in 1990 after serving 27 years as a political prisoner. In the late 90s, he envoyed in the late 90s as an envoy for President Clinton. He worked to intervene in the conflicts of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sierra Leone, Zambia, and Nigeria. Reverend Jackson would go to other hostile nations against the U.S. government, and they would go get American citizens released. A black man who has no government authority can go talk to world leaders and get hostages released. That was real powerful, and I really enjoyed seeing that on TV. He is not only fighting in America, he was also fighting for other minority groups worldwide. He fought for Africans on the continent. He spoke to leaders in the Middle East. I found a video entitled "Reverend Jesse Jackson's Three E's. To watch the video clip, just go to my Medium transcript, click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. From my understanding, he was saying that we're culturally black, we're culturally Das FM. That's what we are. There's nothing wrong with centering our blackness. Today, we have people trying to core up blackness. We deal with a whole different beast now than back in the day. We are facing a coordinated plan to erase Black America. That's why they are dumping illegal immigrants in our community so that they could wipe us out, and that's the agenda, and that's what I've been warning Black Chicagoans for the past 34 years, and now my warning are becoming a reality in real time, and that's unfortunate. But hey, it is what it is. Next month, I will discuss the fall of Black America. Um, this thing could be prevented, but like I say, God give us free will. So, like I say, we can't help everybody. We're only going to help those that want more out of life and that want to become a Gurkham number, bottom line. We will be erased if we don't end this slave mentality now. Gurkham members must take the lead in gatekeeping our culture. That's being proud of your blackness. We have to stand against erasure because that's what they are trying to do. The white supremacist financial elites is trying to lump us into the immigrant story so that we can stop pushing for reparations. We've seen the story with ABC News. They removed the foundational Black American piece, and now they put up a piece talking about African Americans who are really Africans. The Democrats made a call to the ABC News. I pay attention to everything. We call ourselves whatever we want to call ourselves because we're taking our power back. We're the Black grassroots, whether it's FBA, DAS FM, ADOS, Solon, whatever it may be. We're proud of our blackness. We're proud of our heritage. We're proud of our history. And we're proud of our ancestors. And we're not going to let y'all corrupt us. I need Black Americans, African immigrants, the the global African family to help me get my revised book on that bestsellers list and work with me to get this project fully funded and made so that way we can move Grickham to the next level, and that is the big screen, and then eventually into um, the African American community or the Black community here in the city of Chicago. Grickham is standing on business, protecting our culture, protecting our blackness, like Reverend Jesse Jackson asked us to do. We cannot allow anyone to come in and erase our history. Reverend Jackson, he dealt with Parkinson. He was diagnosed in 2017. The biggest indictment today is the immigration, or is the immigrants. Why didn't y'all join Reverend Jackson? Because you didn't want a minority coalition. You just wanted Black Americans to fight your battles, and that's not going to happen. The only reason you're coming out calling us now is because ICE is on your bumper. Once the Democrats get back in office and ICE is off your bumper, you will be it will be business as usual in America. You won't speak to us, and you may start calling us the N word again. Our children need our attention, but we are up here fighting for y'all children who will grow up and eventually compete against our children. That's how racism works, ladies and gentlemen. For example, Latinos from Latin America discriminate against Afro Latinos in South America. They come over here with, um, I would say, hatred toward Black people, um, or sentiment, um, sentiments, anti-Black sentiment towards Black people. We have not done anything to none of these groups. We haven't stolen their resources. We haven't colonized their homeland, but they want to be close to their former colonizers. I don't understand that. They don't have that same type of smoke against ICE and white Americans. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you for listening to our audio podcast and for joining us. We appreciate that. Again, I need your support for our film project and also support my, what I'm trying to do. Read my story big time. That's all I ask for before you do anything else. Please purchase my book, Read My Story. If you agree, work with me, become a Gurkam member. Help turn my ideas into a reality. That's all I'm asking. If you're a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you donate to our PayPal Giving Fund page because you can use it as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. You can purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. The ebook is $9.99. The softcover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you again for listening to our YouTube Live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. Now, before I end this episode for today, I'm going to show you all, I'm going to do a screen share so you can find all my information, as well as some of the videos that I mentioned earlier. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, as I pull that information up for you. Okay, so I'm on my this is my Medium transcript, and this is my actual speech. Okay, click on here. Also, hold on, I just want you to see something. So with this cursor, that's how you, like right here, you would click on that. So I encourage my listeners to follow me on here. Let's get that number up. That's nice as 93, but I speak to thousands of people. That should be in the thousands. And actually, I should have at least 500,000 followers on all of my social media sites. But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna make this thing happen together. But so you click on here, the title, and then you scroll down. And I'm doing it this way because when I was using Substack, Sometimes the videos doesn't play, so I want to make sure that some of the videos is going to play. All right, so see, this is my show and prove. And the first thing I want to y'all to check out would be that video I was telling you about with this person, Representative Yvette Clarke. So we're gonna check that out. Click on there. Get that out the way. Hopefully it's gonna pull it up. This is where I, found it. She doesn't agree. So when she's saying she doesn't agree with the majority of um, Black Americans that want that bill to pass. That's why we need to have people like her voted out of office because she doesn't represent our interests. I'm just saying. Uh, okay, so I'll stop it. Get out of it. Okay, I'm back on my Medium page again. And so, yeah, you click on that, the title, uh, and I'm just going to show you how you can find the different stuff. Because, like I say, I come with receipts. You know, I take all this stuff serious. But like I say, if I'm not making much money, my book is barely selling. It's such a turnoff. And but anyway, this is under show and prove. This is my receipts. So click on that if you want to read about the article about Reverend Jesse Jackson, going to Mexico, about his when he was in South Africa, and the three E's, right? So this is just one part about that lady I was telling you about that made the terroristic threats. She want to harm foundational Black Americans, and like, my goodness. So those are the type of African immigrants that's coming over here, causing problems. That's not cool at all. Um, I'm gonna see if I can pull her up over here. It's gonna be real short because they say she deleted it. Let's see if we can pull it up. Come on. Like I say, they say she supposed to be on this one too, so I just wanted y'all to see it. But all right, I don't see anything. Like they say, like I said, they say she took it down. So, and here goes some more of it. So, yeah. See up here, they want to blame Black Americans for them being deported, while some immigrant groups blame Black Americans. Blame yourself. No, don't sit up here and blame us. We got our own stuff we're dealing with. Plus a lot of these other immigrant groups that come up, they say we don't have no culture and all the talk on talk down to us. So that's why FBA, they kind of, they go in on them. But like, negative people, yeah, I don't fool around with them. I keep my distance. But check on all of this stuff, those of you that's able. You know, all of this stuff. And again, I'm gonna keep saying this. A Zoom call of 44,000 Black women raised 1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours on a Zoom call. And I'm like, man, wow. So over here we're trying to raise 250,000 for this film project. Um, just for low budget too, But I want to make sure we make a quality Black empowerment film, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm trying to do. All right, with that being said, that's going to conclude our show for today, all right? Thank you all for listening. Peace and blessings.